Hello everyone, I'm going to explain the summary of the first lesson of literature. This is the first lesson of First Flight. The name of the lesson is A Letter to God. It is one of the important prose lessons of CBSE Class 10 English textbook, The First Flight. It is basically a story about faith, hope, kindness, and human nature. This story was written by G.L. Fuentes. The genre of the story is like this. By the end of the story, by the end of this lesson, the student will be able to identify the plot and characters, identify the central theme, learn important vocabulary, and the student will also be able to answer all the board exam questions. So, let me introduce the characters. The characters of this story are Lencho, a poor farmer. He's very hardworking. He had immense faith in God. He's honest but innocent. The postmaster, who was very kind hearted, helpful, generous, he believed in doing good things. The post office employees, who was helpful and sympathetic, contribute money for Lencho. Now, the summary of the story is like this. Lencho was a poor farmer who lived with his family on the top of a hill. His entire crop depended on rainfall. One day, dark clouds appeared. Lencho became very delighted because he expected a good harvest. However, the rain soon turned into a horrible rainstorm. Huge, massive hailstones destroyed the whole crop within an hour. Everything in the fields was ruined. Rancho became really worried. He was very perturbed because his family had no food and no money. Although everyone else lost hope, Lencho had complete faith in God. He believed that God would surely help him. Lencho wrote a letter to God asking for 100 pesos so he could sow new crops and feed his family. When the postmaster saw the letter, he smiled at first but was deeply moved by Lencho's faith. He collected money from his colleagues and contributed some himself. Altogether, they managed to collect only 17 pesos. They mailed the money to Lencho without revealing their identity. When Lencho received the envelope, he was not surprised because he fully expected God to help him. He knew very well that God would certainly help him. But after counting the money, he became angry because it was only 70 pesos. Believing that God could never make a mistake, Lencho concluded the post office employees must have stolen the remaining 30 pesos. He wrote another letter to God asking for the remaining money, requesting God not to send it through the post office because the employees were a bunch of crooks. So the detailed explanation is like this. Lencho watches the sky. He says that only rain is needed for good harvest. He's very optimistic. His livelihood depends on farming. There was a hailstone. Instead of gentle rain, large hailstones started falling. The fields became white like a blanket. All the crops were sabotaged. All the crops were destroyed. This represents nature's unpredictable power. The struggle faced by farmers, faith in God. Although everything is destroyed, Lencho had unshakable faith in God. He did not panic. He believes that no one dies of hunger. He trusts God completely. He wrote a letter to the God that writes, God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry. He asked for 100 pesos. This shows his childlike faith. The postmaster is touched. He wants to preserve Lencho's faith. He collects the money from the friends and co workers. So, this is the story of kindness, humanity, compassion, and irony. Lencho receives only 70 pesos. Instead of thanking the people who helped him, he believed that they have stolen the remaining amount. This creates dramatic irony because readers know the truth. Lencho does not know. The theme is faith. Lencho never doubts God. His faith remains strong even after losing everything. It is about hope. Despite destruction, Lencho believes that life will improve. It's about kindness. The postmaster and his staff help him, someone they do not know. It is about irony. The very people who helped Lencho are accused of theft. It is about human nature. The story shows both generosity, innocence, and misunderstanding. So, there are important vocabulary. The important vocabulary as follows. Crest means top of a hill. Hailstones are basically balls of ice falling from clouds. Harvest refers to collection of crops. Locust refers to insects that destroy crops. Solitary means alone. Amiable means friendly. Charity means helping others. Crooks are dishonest and lawless people. Conscience refers to inner sense of right and wrong. Wrath refers to great anger. Okay, so the literary device are irony. Irony occurs when the reality is different from what a character believes. The post office employees help Lencho. Lencho calls them a bunch of crooks. This is the best irony in the story. The character sketch of Lencho is as follows. He is a poor farmer, hardworking, honest, innocent, deep faith in God, simple minded, trusting. The character sketch of the postmaster is as follows. He is very kind, helpful, compassionate, generous, encouraging, believes in humanity. The moral of the story is that faith gives people strength during difficult times. Helping others is one of the greatest virtues. We should appreciate the kindness of others. Never judge people without knowing the truth. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. I have explained the summary of a letter to God. Thank you so much. I will be discussing a lot of summaries and the main ideas of the lessons of social science and English. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. It is indeed a fabulous prose, a letter to God. A poor farmer lost his crops due to the hailstone. He had unshakable faith in God. It is his faith in God that made him write a letter. When the postmaster received the letter, he wanted to help. He didn't want his faith in God to be tarnished, but the help turned out to be very fatal. Lencho received 70 pesos instead of 100 pesos. He accused mas- the post office employees and called them a bunch of crooks. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.